number one is read to self, and the best way to become a better reader is to practice each day with books you choose, like Just Right books, and it soon becomes a habit. So it looks like and sounds like in first grade.
My students each have their own, here. They have a book pocket that sits on the back of their chair. And inside the book pocket are our base, that we're on right now. Books that they've checked out from the school library that are at their level. They also have in here, some of them have books they've brought from home that are their favorites they want to practice reading again and again. Some of them have books from our classroom library. We have a book shopping rotation system, and so they have that inside their own book pocket. And they take their books from their book pocket, and first we go over what to do when you read this. Get started right away, stay in one spot, read the entire time, read quietly, and you're going to build our stamina. We're up to 16 minutes of uninterrupted reading. And then we tell them there are 3 ways to read a book. You can read the pictures, retell a story you've already heard, and actually read the words. Mine are on this stage right now. At the beginning of the year we were a lot on these first 2. And we also talk at the beginning before they start what their goal is. Do a short mini lesson. Monday's mini lesson is always about the setting. What's the setting of your story? Make sure that as you're reading your story, you keep double checking, do I know what the setting is? Tuesdays is always the characters. Who are the characters in your story? Wednesdays are always the events in the story. In a book, what happened in the story. Thursdays are my favorite sentence, and I'm going to ask them to reread to me, and then I'm going to check their fluency and their accuracy on the words that they wrote. And Fridays are their 4 favorite words, maybe 4 new words, 4 words they had trouble with at the beginning of the week, by the end of the week they really had down, or 4 words that they just fantastic, excellent, interesting words. And then they go and read. I have chimes. I ring the chimes after 16 minutes, and they all, no conversation, they all put their books away, go get their sheet, fill it out, and then we have a sharing time.
And in second grade, it's very similar to that. I ring the bell. I have bells that look like this, and they go to my rug. I call it the gathering pond, and we start a mini lesson. And basically all my mini lessons go with Edward. And Edward each one has probably 3 or 4 lessons, and we sing songs about questioning and connecting and predicting how our brain works together. And at the end, it comes together in a puzzle, and it just works. And sometimes you don't even know that your brain works, but it works. And you can find out all kinds of things about your book. So I found this on the website, and I will show you the website that I found this information on. We just called it different. We called him Edward. We kind of had a little voting system on our name. So basically all my mini lessons go with Edward. And then after we do our mini lesson, they have a book box. And in their book box, they have either books from our library that they can do some book shopping, we call it. They have a day where they do book shopping. And they also have their books from the library. And he likes hockey. This little boy likes hockey, so he has some hockey books. And he has a picture book, and he's into chapter books now. So he has his chapter books at his level from the library, from our big library, not my library. And then a few other things that we have in here. I teach the kids how to do the coaching if they don't know a word. So there's some different kinds of bookmarks in here. So then what they do is they go read. And at the beginning of the year, we probably started about a minute. That was our stamina, a minute. And I had to ring the chime because someone broke stamina. And so we'd go back to our carpet, we talk about the expectations, we go through our eye chart, and then they would go back again. And they would go to their quiet spot and they would read. It probably took 20 days to build up enough stamina. And now we're at about 20 minutes, 21 minutes. And then during that time while they're reading, I can take small groups and do interventions with those small groups depending on what their needs are. At the end, we always do sharing. Then we get together and we do some sharing. Sometimes we do some journaling, and we'll share, what's on our journal, and sometimes we'll just talk because it's right before lunch and we might not have a whole lot of time. So that's how Read to Self looks like in 2nd grade.
And in 4th grade, I don't do as much as far as teaching the reading part, because I incorporate that into more of our mini lessons and things like that and guided reading. But they do have AR books, book baggies that they all have their stuff in, and I use the library books from our library because it's at their level. Next year I plan to use that range that's with AR. When you get the STAR test, they have that range on there. I'm planning on using that more than the GE that we've been using in the past. I just think it'll work out better as far as having a range of books to really look at. And then what we do during that time is we did the same thing where we started with, they said they could do 3 minutes. Well, they couldn't do 3 minutes at the beginning here, so we kind of started going backwards. Like we'll take out 30 seconds off each time, and then we worked our way up, and now we are up to a good 20 minutes before some of them kind of get off. And what I've kind of done is worked with small groups or reteaching other skills that they just need a little more guidance on with correction and things like that. And then in addition to that, they will read with each other, and if I see some students who just can't do it, their stamina's not there, but the rest of them are going great, then I'll pull that student and just read with them silently or quietly, and we talk about what voice level we should be using at that time. They can put chapter books, and I do nonfiction picture books at their level in these as well, because it's nice to have that break from a chapter book every once in a while. So that's how I do it in 4th grade.